Thank you for joining us for the June 2nd meeting of the City of Fortuna City Council. If you'll silence your electronic devices, please join me in the flag salute. We'll call this meeting to order.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can we get a roll call?
Councilmember Conley.
Present.
Councilmember Diaz.
Here.
Councilmember Stevens. Mayor Pro Tem Trent. Here. Mayor Johnson.
Here. And our first item of business this evening is a proclamation for World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. And I believe Andrea Brunke is here to receive this. So the City of Fortuna, in recognition of World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, is June 15th, 2025. Whereas older adults are valued members of our community, and it is our collective responsibility to ensure their dignity, safety, and well-being are protected. And whereas elder abuse is a silent epidemic that can include physical, emotional, sexual, and financial abuse, as well as neglect, and affects an estimated 1 in 10 older Americans each year, many of whom suffer in silence. And whereas the City of Fortuna recognizes the importance of raising awareness about elder abuse in order to protect vulnerable individuals and promote prevention strategies. And whereas the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program of the Area 1 Agency on Aging serves as a vital advocate for residents of licensed long-term care facilities in Humboldt and Del Norte counties, working to ensure that voices of older adults are heard, their rights are upheld, and their safety and dignity protected. And whereas Elder Abuse Awareness Day is an opportunity to bring attention to the need for expanded community education, support services, interagency collaboration, and legal protections to safeguard older residents. And whereas the City of Fortuna stands in solidarity with older adults, caregivers, advocates, and community partners to end elder abuse and foster a culture of respect and compassion. Now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Mike Johnson, Mayor of the City of Fortuna, do hereby proclaim June 15th, 2025 as Elder Abuse Awareness Day in the City of Fortuna, and urge all citizens, agencies, and organizations to take action by learning about the signs of elder abuse, supporting prevention and intervention efforts, and honoring the contribution of older adults in our community. Signed this second day of June 2025, City of Fortuna, State of California.
Hi, my name is Andrea, and I manage the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program at the Area 1 Agency on Aging. And I want to just thank you on behalf of our program and our agency for your support in bringing visibility to this issue. Our program, Long-Term Care Ombudsman, are certified by California to advocate for residents of nursing homes and assisted living facilities. And we help them to resolve concerns, respond to reports of abuse and neglect, and we work to ensure the residents are treated with dignity and respect. Our local program serves Humboldt and Del Norte counties with a small team of 2 staff members and 6 dedicated volunteers. And here in Fortuna, we have a regular presence at Fortuna Rehabilitation and Wellness Center, Sequoia Springs, and First Choice Care Home. And we encourage everyone in Fortuna to stay alert and informed. And if anyone suspects elder abuse in a long-term care facility, to contact our ombudsman program. And for individuals living in the community, concerns should be reported to Adult Protective Services. And I also want to highlight that on June 11th and 12th, we are hosting the Elder Rights Summit at the Sequoia Conference Center in Eureka. And this is a free 2-day event focused on elder justice issues. And we invite anyone that's interested to get educated to attend. Again, it's free, and we have more details available on our website at www.a1aa.org. And in addition, I also want to highlight that much of our work is conducted by volunteer advocates, and it's a rewarding way to give back to the community for anyone that's looking to be of service, and we're always in search of volunteers, specifically in the Fortuna area. So thank you again for your leadership and your commitment to elder justice, and I want to say that our program is here as a resource for the town of Fortuna and for the entire community. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for all you do. And our next item of business is oral comments from the public. If anyone would like to comment on anything that is not on the agenda tonight, this is the opportunity. You can step forward, say your name, and you have 3 minutes if anyone would like to comment on anything. Seeing none, we will close public comment and move on to the consent calendar. We have 6 items tonight. The city council minutes from May 19th from our regular meeting, the report of disbursements, approval of the fiscal year 25-26 capital improvement program, approve appointment of public works director and advanced salary step, authorize the city manager to award the annual water valve replacement project, CIP 9990 to Went Construction, and establish a contract amount of $97,601, and approve the Community Resource Center agreement renewal. Would anybody like to pull anything?
I was just gonna tell you that this is the spot.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I did have some comments on C and E, just wanted to share or
Okay, well,
opine on.
this is your
So,
moment.
and Amy was kind enough to walk me through some of these this morning, so appreciate that. But just for the benefit of the other council members and the public, just just sharing some of my thoughts on the 5-year capital improvement program. One just observation I had that I think would be nice to keep in mind as we add stuff to this in future years is just the trails and pedestrian access. I think, there were some projects in there that addressed that, but I think, as I've kind of become more familiar with what the public is asking for, in the general plan and just other, talking to other constituents, I think if we're making a wish list of items, because some of these, seem to be kind of, funding to be determined, it would also be nice to add to the wish list, Strong's Creek Trail or, more sidewalks in other places where they're needed. And that was just one thing that I kind of observed that felt a little lacking to me, and I didn't really get a chance to comment on them when we did the special budget workshops. Again, nothing that I see that was negative, just, something that I wouldn't mind us paying attention to more in the future. Then the other item, the water valve replacement project, and I'm probably going to sound kind of like a broken record sometimes when it comes to hiring some of these outside consultants and contractors. I think maybe in this situation, it could maybe appropriate, and I'm just still on the learning curve of what the city is capable of doing and what isn't. But I would also just want us and the city staff to be mindful of the cost of using outside contractors versus having city staff do it, especially with the city staff payroll issues, whether or not we're paying enough to keep retention at the level we want. So if there is an opportunity to even pay some sort of overtime to city staff to do some of these projects that we are given to consultants and contractors, that whether that may be an opportunity to shift some of the funds directly to the city staff rather than outside contractors that might be billing us at $100, $200, $300 an hour for work that staff may be capable of. The other thing too, I would also be worried about with a lot of our staff that have been pretty seasoned employees that may be looking at retirement in the future is, whether there's a risk of the knowledge and skills to do this kind of work gets lost if they continue to rely on other contractors and consultants. So anyway, just sharing my 2 cents on those issues. I don't know that I have anything else specifically against these in particular, but just in general.
Okay.
Do you want us to approve these separately? So if you don't want to approve either of those, you can do that?
I know I think, Amy satisfied my concerns on these ones, but just kind of highlighting them, just kind of something I'm aware of, so I'm fine, voting for them all together.
Okay.
We can, well, I was going to see about public comment.
Oh. I'm just moving it along.
Well, is there any public comment on these items here in the consent calendar?
Orville Garrison, a resident of Fortuna. I only request that the council members make it clear when they would like to pull an item for the sake of the city manager and Sienna, that they make it clear that they are in fact pulling an item. It's simple. Do it or don't do it. Respectfully, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Well,
Make a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. So, okay, if we come now to the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. One of the things I'd just like to briefly update you on are the negotiations with Recology, which has the franchise for solid waste. And as you may recall, our solid waste franchise agreement expires at the end of this calendar year. And I am happy to report that negotiations with Recology are moving along nicely at this point. And so it is likely that we'll need to do a short-term extension from January 2026 to June 30th, 2026, with rollout of the SB 1383 organics recycling requirements, and rollout would begin July 1. And so just as a reminder, the City of Fortuna and the other local Humboldt County jurisdictions are all in compliance agreements with CalRecycle, because those SB 1383 requirements were regulated in 2022, and we didn't have organics recycling capacity at that time. And so at this point, it does look like we will be able to eventually get out of that CalRecycle compliance agreement and then enter into a longer-term franchise agreement with Recology that will be compliant with the SB 1383 requirements. And so that is moving along, and it's, I'm happy to see that we're making some good progress. And that is my city manager report for this evening.
Any questions for, well, do we, thank you for that. And I may want to get in touch with you about where we're at on that.
Absolutely.
Future agenda items. Does anybody have anything they'd like to bring up? Okay. Well, then we'll go to council reports with Councilmember Conley.
Thank you. No report. The REDAC meeting I was going to attend as an alternate. The last meeting, it's the fourth Monday of May, and so we never do it because it's Memorial Day. So no report.
And Councilmember Diaz.
Yes, Mayor. I had the opportunity to attend the RCEA meeting, and we were busy talking about their budget for the year for them, and then talking about possibly relocating their offices to another facility, but that is to be determined. And that's all I have.
Okay. Councilmember Stevens.
I don't have any reports, haven't had a chance to attend any of the meetings. I'm curious, though, for HCOG as an alternate, should I plan to attend, or just when they have they need a quorum?
You could attend in the audience. The next meeting is actually on a Monday during our council meeting, so the vice chair will be standing in for me, and you'll be sitting up here so we
All
won't
right.
be able to attend the next meeting.
All right, well,
But I'll keep you posted.
okay.
And Mayor Pro Tem.
I have nothing to report.
Well, I have a little bit to report. I just kind of did right there. Our next HCOG meeting, I will not be able to attend. I would say that tomorrow, our city manager will be speaking at the chamber luncheon. If you have an opportunity, you might want to pop in there for that. It's going to be an informative discussion and presentation, and I think we all will do well by it. And I do have a Transportation, Communication, and Public Works Policy meeting next Friday for the League of California Cities. I believe you have a public safety meeting. I don't know if it's on Thursday or Friday, but, so we do have that to look forward to, and I will report out on that when that time comes. In the meantime, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.